This is the new Renault Megane RS. It's got 280 horsepower, front-wheel drive and a sporty Torsen diff. How is it different from other hot hatches on the market?
My first encounter with Megane RS was about 2010. I vividly remember this car for two reasons. One, it was the best hot hatch I have driven at the time, and two, I killed the engine in a rainwater puddle. That's what happens when ditches are replaced with parking spaces.
Why did I like the previous Renault Megane RS so much? At 250 horsepower, it's not a wimp, even by today's standards. 0 to 100 kilometers per hour time was about 6.1 seconds, which is not bad, taking into account how fast or slow this car is. The suspension was great, which made it easy to put the power down, and it was good 20% cheaper than the competition. The new Megane RS has 280 horsepower, 0 to 100 kilometers per hour time of 5.8 seconds, regardless of the gearbox, and at 34,000 euro, it's one of the cheapest hot hatches in this segment, especially taking performance into account. However, this test car is sort of the RS Trophy model. Now that includes the Cup package, which includes Cup sport suspension, mechanical diff, and red brake calipers, among other things. I'm not really sure about this trim level because the suspension is really track focused, but I'd probably like a mechanical diff on normal roads as well. So choices you have to make.
Cup suspension is so hard, even on motorway the car shakes all the time. On more bumpy roads it's obviously worse, and wide tires don't work well with ruts left by lorries. On the plus side, seats give great lateral support, but they are so hard you have to give yourself a break every couple of hours because driving the Megane RS is like being constantly beaten on the back.
Handling. Renault Megane RS has four-wheel steering, which means at low speeds the rear wheels turn in the opposite direction to the front wheels, and at higher speeds all wheels turn in the same direction, so you either corner tighter at lower speeds or you're more agile through the corners at higher speeds. However, even on a perfect road, Megane RS steering is tad too light. At higher speeds I'd like more feedback from the front wheels. An interesting side effect is that on bumpy roads I get very good feedback and there is no torque steer. So I see potential for special rally stages.
You have to be really committed and drive really fast to feel the Torsen diff working. Suddenly an invisible force pulls you towards the inside of a corner. Megane RS has a lot of low and mid-range grunt. It brakes well too. Yes, you can corner very fast in it, but I like something else about it. And that's the fact, in race mode, this car does lift-off oversteer like no other hot hatch I've tested in recent years. You don't even need to go fast. Sometimes a bit of Scandinavian flick helps.
I realized this is not what the Megane RS was made for, but there are not too many hot hatches out there which you can slide for fun, not because you're about to fall into a ditch. I respect Renault Sport for taking the effort. Gearbox. Now, Civic Type R has a pleasantly mechanical gearbox which feels like you're loading a rifle. Now here, it's like a Civic Type R after a dozen thousand kilometers or so. It feels like a stick in a bucket of nails, this.
And in sixth, at around 2000 RPM, I noticed some strange vibration. Let go of the gas and it's gone, but it comes back as soon as you're back on the throttle. And the bonnet starts vibrating at around 100 kilometers per hour, which does not inspire confidence.
The sound. It's okay, it's not too obtrusive, nothing like the Civic Type R or Focus RS roar. It's more of a distant purr, kind of like you get in Golf GTI. Alpine A110, which is powered by a detuned version of the same 1.8-liter engine, sounds a lot better. By the way, if you're interested, timing in this thing is dealt with by a chain. Not a belt, a chain.
Fuel economy, it's possible to get less than 12 liters per 100 kilometers in the city. Renault promises 9. Extra urban I managed 9.8. Renault promises 6. The tank capacity is 50 liters.
Megane RS interior is full of little sporty accents, so there are RS or Renault Sport badges all over the place. There are also sporty seats, Alcantara upholstery, something that looks like carbon fiber but feels more like plastic here on the doors. The interior is also quite practical. So, for example, there is a place for your water bottle in the doors. There are cup holders here. There is storage here, and there is a place for your smartphone down there. So it's all very practical. Now the dials are easy to read. There is a digital speedo, and the 2 gauges, temperature and fuel, are analog. The infotainment system is also quite easy to use, and I like it. There are these big tiles which make it easy to find the stuff you're looking for. Once you know the menu, there is multi-sense, which are your driving modes, and you can sort of configure some of these modes. Like, for example, you can adjust what's the color scheme in neutral mode or comfort mode or sport mode or race mode, stuff like that, if you don't like red in race mode. And then there is your personal mode, which you can adjust fully.
In the back, there's the same amount of room as on a regular Megane. I like that Renault thought about this seatbelt harness, which prevents seatbelts from getting caught when folding backrests. The boot capacity is less than 300 liters, almost 100 liters less than in the standard Megane. That's because of the 4-wheel steering. There are shopping bag hooks, and thanks to higher floor, you get an almost flat loading area when back seats are folded. So, you're thinking you can have all this for 34 grand and some change. Well, unfortunately you can't. Unless you buy one from Poland, where Megane RS starts at 29,000. This here is the equivalent of RS trophy spec, minus the extra 20 horsepower, with leather and Alcantara steering wheel, Recaro sport seats, bigger infotainment system, Bose audio system, Alcantara upholstery, cup suspension package, park assist, 19-inch rims, and a few other extras, which for you Western Europeans means spending at least 40 grand.
That's not cheap, bearing in mind this is more of a track car than your daily driver. And what's your perfect hot hatch? Let me know in the comment section below. If you like this video, click subscribe, click that bell icon, or if you think I'm an annoying git, let me know in the comment section down below. I'm sure you will. And do watch more of my reviews by clicking the windows, which should have popped up somewhere around me here. Thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.